welcome to another episode of Amanda Homestead. My name is Amanda, and today I am finally getting around to doing an update on my blue oyster mushroom monotub experiment. The first episode in this series, I was showing you how to chop up straw, pasteurize straw, so that you could then take your blue oyster mushroom spawn and inoculate your tub. Okay, you can check out that video. I'll post a link in the description. So I made a few different kinds of mistakes. The biggest mistake that I made was I put these very kind of thick filtered pads on the holes of the monotub because it's supposed to allow oxygen in, but it didn't allow anywhere near enough oxygen in. And I got these really weird elongated mushrooms that are basically just not what we're after. Once the straw was colonized, I learned that what I needed to do is take off that duct tape that was blocking up the holes so that the oyster mushrooms could get a lot more air. All right. However, by doing that, it also meant that I had to come in there and spray water in there once a day. So I'll show you what it produced and kind of talk a little bit more about the pros and cons of this method. Okay, so here is the one tub that is ready for harvesting. And this is our harvest of blue oyster mushrooms, okay? It's not bad. It's not bad. I had kind of hoped for the straw to be kind of fully covered in mushrooms, but I've done some more research, and it seems like blue oyster mushrooms are what they call a side fruiting mushroom, meaning that they like to fruit on the sides of things, not a top fruiting mushroom, so not from the top of something. So this monotub is kind of set up to fruit on the top, right? That kind of makes sense. It's fruiting on the top. And so the blue oyster mushroom is actually probably not the best choice for this. So if I were to do this again, which I'm going to try, I'm going to use something called a king oyster because apparently that is a top fruiting mushroom. And so I probably will have better luck. All right. So if you want to kind of see what they look like in the interim stage, I've got one here that I've just kind of is just starting to develop. And if we pull this off, you can see those mushrooms. We kind of look in here. You can see those little baby pins, right? And then they gradually start, you can see where the name the blue oyster comes from, right? Those beautiful blue caps. And you can kind of see that they're kind of showing up here and there, but again, not tons. So blue oyster mushroom monotub, maybe not the best choice. Okay, so these oyster mushrooms are ready to harvest. And you can kind of tell because their caps are open, but they haven't kind of started to curl up the other way, right? While the caps are still kind of curved down, they're still growing. So you want to wait until those caps start to flatten out, all right? You definitely see that that is happening here. We wouldn't want to leave them any longer. So to harvest them, what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of grab it by the base, give it a little twist, okay, and pull, trying not to pull away too much, okay? That's how you do it, all right? And then we're just going to go along and do that with the rest of them. Beautiful looking gills under there. Just such a pretty mushroom. Okay, and there is our harvest of blue oyster mushrooms from our monotub. So what I'm actually going to do now with this is I'm going to fill this up with water to just above the straw and let it soak for about 4 hours just to kind of rehydrate the substrate. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the tub in a black garbage bag and leave it for a week or two just to rest. And then I'm going to put it back into the fruiting kind of conditions. And then we'll try and get a second flush. So not a bad start. I'm hoping I can do a little bit better. What I am going to try next time is instead of using the straw, which is still labor intensive because I'm trying to find something that's going to be easy, I'm going to use hardwood fuel pellets instead, which is something you'd use for like a pellet stove because they're actually pretty cheap. And you can get hardwood fuel pellets, or you can also get the pellets that you would use in a smoker. Those might be a little bit more expensive because they sound fancier. but they're basically the same thing. So, and it will make an awful lot of sawdust, which we can then use as a substrate for our mycelium. And then I'm going to try my king oysters as well. So we're going to keep experimenting and see what we can do to find a way to keep mushrooms going on the homestead. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you've tried growing your own mushrooms and have any comments or thoughts about what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, I'd love to hear them in the comment section. If you like this video, please feel free to press the subscribe button, and we will see you again soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.